Welcome to Cheap Pops, everybody. I'm Dave. I'm waiting for my co-host. Oh, there he is. We're the two dudes with attitudes today. If you can't tell by now, we talk wrestling on this show.
Yes, we do.
Before I won't be able to see anything, so.
You're as blind as a bat.
That's true. Thank you so much for checking out the show. We got a lot to talk about. First off, news that we just got today. Ted Turner has passed away. Not only did he create CNN and 24-hour news, but he also was the man that kept WCW alive after Jim Crockett Promotions went under. So, 87, had dementia. It's amazing to think that he lasted this long, to be honest, and I'm happy that he loved wrestling enough that he kept WCW alive for as long as he did.
Yes, absolutely.
If you like WCW, he's the man to thank, because without him, it wouldn't have lasted.
And we love wrestling, and we thank you.
Yes, I definitely thank you. One major news note, too, is a lot of releases from WWE. It's not unusual for after WrestleMania for there to be releases,
but holy shit!
Yeah, I've got the list. Aleister Black, Zelina Vega, they're married. They went together. Kairi Sane, which most people are most mad about. Santos Escobar, the Motor City Machine Guns. That doesn't surprise me. They never fit in. If they were around 2012, 2013, where the smaller guys were really getting into fashion, I think it would have been different. And New Day was, starting to become a thing, and the tag division was being more featured. You had Los Matadors and, and the Usos and all that stuff. But no, WWE doesn't care about tag team wrestling. So I'm not surprised the Machine Guns are gone. To be honest, I'm surprised the War Raiders weren't released as well.
Right.
Apollo Crews, Zoe Stark, Alba Fire, all the members of the Wyatt Six, Uncle Howdy.
That I'm really surprised about.
Nikki Cross, Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan, and Dexter Loomis. They had that huge debut on Raw where, they laid everybody out and everybody was bleeding and all that stuff. They just never did anything with it, and I think it had a lot of potential. Granted, they became tag team champions and all that, but it just,
Then you got half of Solo Sicola's crew.
Yeah, Tonga Loa and JC Mateo were released. From NXT, Andre Chase, Dante Chen, Tyra May Steele, Serena Linton, Tyson DuPont, Tyreek Igwe, Chris Island, have no idea who that is. Malik Blade, Trill London, Luca Crucifino, I think he was part of the group with Tony D'Angelo. Carly Bright. The big news is that the New Day is, some people say they asked for their release. Some people say that TKO just wanted them to renegotiate and they declined. So, who knows what to believe until the New Day actually say anything. But they're huge. They were huge merch movers, and then you have them do that huge heel turn with Big E, and then nothing. They could have been the biggest heels in the company as a tag team,
absolutely,
and did nothing. So I say go to AEW. You can have huge. The tag division in AEW is stacked, anyways.
If not, TNA needs some.
That's true. I could see them going to AEW more than TNA, but TNA does need talent. My thing is they're talking about talent. Were asked to take pay cuts, and some people did. You're paying Jelly Roll to be on TV. You're paying iShow Speed to be on WrestleMania. Little Yachty with Trick Williams. Nothing against Little Yachty. I think he's been the best one out of the whole bunch. I think he added a lot to Trick. But you're paying these guys this money. You're making record profits, record gates, and you've got to cut people?
And cut their pay?
Yeah, that makes no sense to me. All that is TKO wants to pay off their debts and they, they're doing anything they can. I think TKO is going to kill WWE to the point where all they're going to have left is to sell it to the Saudis, and then it makes no sense to me. It really doesn't. I don't get it, and
it's really sad because, like I said, we love wrestling.
Yeah, if I was Tony Khan, I would sign almost everybody off of that list, and I would use the star power in that and get Ring of Honor a TV deal.
Definitely.
Even if it's just, a small deal. You got the New Day, Kairi Sane, all the Wyatts, Aleister Black. I mean, if they'll have him back, why aren't you cutting executives? Why aren't you cutting, all that stuff? It's not like your show's gotten any better. And how are you hemorrhaging money? Every show is nothing but ads. Demolition got 6 minutes to talk at the Hall of Fame, but you played a crap load of ads during it. Stephanie McMahon talked for like a half an hour. And Sid, one of the biggest stars in the history of wrestling, couldn't even get a full induction, just played a video package. I understand
bullshit.
I understand Bad News Brown. He wasn't a huge star. Him getting just a video package, I understand. But Sid, I don't know. You haven't watched all of this, but I watched the whole thing. The Hulk Hogan documentary on Netflix.
God.
Yeah, we were talking about this. It's entertaining. It's cool to see the old footage. A lot of the Linda Hogan pretty much, videotaped the entire life of her kids and her husband back in the 90s. So, which, video cameras were easy to use back then. So, but Linda Hogan is just keeping the lies going. And then again, so is Hulk Hogan's wife as well, because she believed the crap too. But Linda Hogan actually said that Hulk Hogan was a good enough bassist to play for Guns N' Roses.
Oh my fucking God.
Huh? No. Just, and I have to say Bret Hart is on this documentary as well. I love bitter Bret Hart. I don't care what anybody says. Bret Hart tells it the way he thinks, and he doesn't pull any punches, and he doesn't give a shit what people think of him, and I love him for that. I did not know that Hulk Hogan's first match at Madison Square Garden was against Ted DiBiase in 1979. I did not know that.
And that was super young Ted DiBiase.
Yeah, absolutely. Having Jesse Ventura on this documentary was cool too. They completely bypassed the Macho Man feud. They did not talk about that one bit. The only video I remember seeing of Macho Man is Hogan dropping the leg on him in one video thing, and then a thing with Donald Trump and the Macho Man in the lead up to WrestleMania 5. But they did not mention the Macho Man feud at all, and that
goes to show you how much animosity was.
And I don't understand it, because you sell all his merchandise, like Macho Man. The Slim Jim ads, you still use his voice. Action figures all the time, Funko Pops, excuse me, T-shirts. But you're completely glossing over that part of Hogan's career. I don't get it whatsoever. And then I talked to you about this in the car. Hulk Hogan actually said Hulkamania is going to be talked about just as much as World War I and World War II. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't understand. It's like, remember the South Park episode with the smug, where they love the smell of their own farts so much that they stick their heads up their asses? That is the extent that Hulk Hogan believed in his own shit. And don't get me wrong. Grab that real quick. The poster. He's the reason I'm a wrestling fan.
But, I gotta be careful not to break anything.
But he believes his own crap, and so much that his family believes his own crap so much that they still talk about it like he was the biggest thing ever, and he was the biggest star in the history of wrestling, always will be. But I just don't understand. They believe the lies. And another thing I gotta say, it was really funny hearing Jimmy Hart say fuck on this documentary. He said it flippantly, but it was just I never thought that Jimmy Hart would say fuck. That's funny to me.
Fuck, baby!
I do love that he said that TNA saved him because after his divorce he had no money and TNA was able to make money and get the surgeries that he needed. So it was cool to hear him say that. And they did play a lot of footage of him being in TNA. So
the other thing that shocked me about this documentary was the fentanyl use.
Yeah, he's talking about taking a lot of fentanyl and, to kill the pain and stuff. I think getting into politics is going to hurt his legacy a lot, whether you agree with him or not. He stayed neutral out of politics for his entire career, and then later when he was trying to promote his beer, he got into politics, and it screwed his,
Yep, it
like
fucked
I said,
everything.
Whether you agree with his politics or not, it was not a good move by him.
No.
His wife said he wanted to be authentic. Okay. Not if you've listened to the lies that he's told over the years, getting booed at the Netflix premiere, and they say it was because it's a different crowd because it's LA, and then he said when he went to Madison Square Garden he got cheered up. He did not get cheered as much as they think he got cheered at Madison Square Garden. I'm sorry. It wasn't just LA. People were seeing who he was and what he had become, the carny that he always was. When he joined the NWO, when he said it was all about the money, it was. I'm sorry, it was. I wrote the lack of self-awareness is crazy. Just when you listen to him talk in the documentary, he has no awareness of what the way he was perceived and is going to be perceived. Very complicated legacy. It's a very interesting documentary. It's a 4-part. I would definitely recommend watching it.
At least this one was a little bit more better than the freaking Vince McMahon one.
Right. Brooke Hogan wasn't involved. They played like audio, and like she shows up because they do the Hogan Knows Best. They show that, but she wasn't involved, and I understand. Like, she wanted to get away from that circus of a family, and she wanted to be taken out of the will and all that stuff. If you want to preserve your sanity, and I completely understand that. How much of it did you watch? Just the first episode?
First episode and a couple of bits and pieces here and there on Facebook.
I would recommend watching the whole thing because it is really, really good.
But like I said, the one thing that surprised me the most was that the fentanyl use.
Yeah. I can understand, though, if you're in a lot of pain, you're doing anything you can. And I've had back issues. Back pain is no joke. And if you're feeling it, if you're feeling it constantly, I completely understand. Well, I don't understand using fentanyl because that's
almost like a fucking death sentence right there.
Well, that's like what anesthesia for surgery and stuff. Yeah. So, but WrestleMania happened while we were gone, and
if you want to call it fucking WrestleMania.
Yeah, I was not hyped for this. There were a couple matches I was really interested in, but WrestleMania Night 1, WrestleMania 42, great nostalgia opening video. Cena comes out in his suit as a host. The Usos and LA Knight against Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and I Show Speed. The Usos in LA won, and then Logan Paul knocked out I Show Speed. Logan Paul tried to put Speed through the announce table, but he gets a 1D from the Usos, and I Show Speed splashed Paul through the table off the ring post. It was cool to see that. I Show Speed, highly athletic. He looked good in the ring, but if he's going to be a regular, you're using him to get... And that's the thing. They say, oh, well, he brings eyeballs to the product. How many more do you need?
Right?
You're pricing the fans that you do have out of being able to go to your shows. How much return are you getting on that investment? Logan Paul, I understand. The investment on Logan Paul, he's one of the most famous people on the planet. Having him as a regular on your TV show absolutely makes sense. Plus, he creates controversy because he's an asshole. I really enjoyed this match, the unsanctioned match, Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre. Drew came out with the sword again, which I thought was kind of weird. He hasn't done that for a while.
No, he hasn't.
Tables, chairs, toolboxes. I didn't think that the toolbox was a throwback to when he wrestled CM Punk, so that was actually pretty cool. Fatu kicked out of the Claymore. That was actually really cool. And he hit the double jump moonsault through a table to beat Drew McIntyre. And now we're going to preview Backlash later, but at Backlash it's going to be Jacob Fatu versus Roman Reigns.
Wait, we need Triple H saying Backlash.
Yeah. The women's tag titles, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria versus the Irresistible Forces, Nia Jax and Lash Legend versus Brie Bella, and it was supposed to be Nikki Bella, but what happened?
Injured, and we got Paige back.
Yep, the return to Paige. It was really cool to see. My only thing is now I'll never probably meet her because I'm not paying the Fanatics prices to meet her, but whatever. I put Charlotte looks ridiculous with huge butterfly wings. and also, one thing that chapped my ass, the worst tag team in this whole match is the one that cosplayed as Demolition, and that's the Irresistible Forces. That made me mad. That the worst team comes out as my favorite tag team. I hate that. I hated that.
Would you say that grinds your gears?
Yes, it does indeed grind my gears. 4 women in the ring at the same time. It was just a cluster.
Was Vince Russo booking this fucker?
Yeah, right. Paige and Charlotte staring down at each other was cool.
Oh, wait, no. It would be a paddle on the pole match then.
Yeah, probably. Paige won with the Rampage, new tag champions, Paige and Brie Bella. They showed Jeff Ross in the crowd, and I noted he looks like Baron Von Raschke. Because the bald head and like his face looks just like Raschke. If he started doing the claw, I would think it was him. And did you watch the Becky Lynch AJ Lee match? Any of it? Okay, well, and the entrance, you can clearly see that the Wonder Years, the band that Becky Lynch has sing her music, was lip syncing because they started the track and he missed the cue to start singing and he completely fucked it up, and you could clearly see that they were lip syncing.
Ouch.
Drowning Pool didn't lip sync when they sang Triple H to the ring. Neither did Motorhead. Neither did Saliva for the Dudley Boys.
And neither did the ones for Cult of Personality.
Oh, and Living Color. Yep.
Yep. Yeah. And a couple other ones.
Yeah. And I think that song for Becky Lynch sucks anyways. But it was for the Intercontinental title, Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee. I thought it was a good match. Becky used the exposed turnbuckle to get the win. I saw a quote from somebody, I can't remember who it was. They said that Tekla from AEW is the character that Becky Lynch wishes she could be. Because if you've watched anything from Tekla lately in AEW, she is firing on all cylinders, cutting some of the best promos I've ever heard from a female wrestler. I would have to agree. She is the character that Becky Lynch wishes she could be. Gunther versus Seth Rollins. I put this is the best match of the night. Braun Breaker returned and speared Rollins outside the ring. Gunther choked out Rollins, and then Breaker gave another spear to Rollins on a full dead run on the ramp, which was pretty cool.
I'm telling you right now, they need to strap a rocket to that bull fucking let him go.
Are you going to trademark that? Because you say that almost every time we talk about. Okay, all right. Well,
trademark it, bitch.
Yeah. So I mean, they're kind of stop and start with Gunther. I don't know what they're going to do with him, but having him beat an established guy like Rollins is cool.
What's really cool is that now they're going with a feud with Gunther and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I'm kind of over Cody Rhodes at this point, but they did the Women's World Title. Liv Morgan came out with her music video, an entrance from her music video that she does for her new music. Against Stephanie Vaquer. Vaquer was the champion. I wrote Stephanie's old music in NXT was better than the music she's doing now. I don't know why they're changing the themes. They own the rights to the themes. I don't know why. They're made specifically for the wrestlers. I don't know why you're changing them. You own the copyright. What's the point? But I wrote her theme sounds like a remix of Dean Ambrose's music. It was a good, fast match. There was a lot of interference, and Liv Morgan had to hit 2 Oblivions to win the title. Then they had Cena come out, and I think he announced the attendance, and Bianca Belair came out and skipped out to the ring and revealed that she is pregnant, so she's going to be gone for even longer than she has been. It's been over a year now. I mean, good for her and Montez. You know, I'm not going to begrudge anybody for wanting to have kids. It's not like she can't come back. She's young enough. I mean, Becky Lynch did it. She can certainly do it, too. So and
Bianca Belair is still better than Becky.
Yes, and it's not like they're on the road like they used to be where they're doing house shows. They're only doing TVs and pay-per-views. So it's not like they can't bring a kid on the road. You know, it's a lot different than it used to be. So having a kid while you're a wrestler now is not as bad as it used to be. And then the main event. This thing, to me, was a popcorn fart. Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE title. Pat McAfee had an entrance. Orton took forever to get down the ramp. They did play different eras of Cody for his entrance. I thought that was really cool. And it was great to hear JR's voice, you know, on it. You know, because they don't play JR a lot in the WWE stuff because he's with AEW, and I think they need to. McAfee did Orton's introduction. He needs to go away and never come back. I didn't like him really much as an announcer. It was cool when he wrestled Adam Cole in NXT, and when he wrestled Austin Theory and stuff. That was entertaining, but Michael Cole and Corey Graves are great as an announce team. McAfee's not needed at all.
Definitely need to get rid of Booker T on the announce team.
Yep. McAfee caught a crossroads at the beginning of the match. And then Jelly Roll did an elbow on him through the announce table. Too much Jelly Roll. Stop force feeding me, Jelly Roll.
Mm-hmm. Wait. We need a jelly to jelly suplex, though.
Yeah. It's just not... This wasn't what I figured this match would be. I just don't feel as much chemistry between Orton and Cody at this point. Cody got punched right in the eye, though. That was gnarly. Very gnarly. Little Nate caught an RKO. Cody hit a low blow. McAfee ran out with a neck brace and a ref shirt. McAfee caught an RKO too. Cody retained. Orton hit Cody with the belt and punted him as well. So if Orton's going full on heel, I'm all for it. No. McAfee was not needed. Kind of like Rock with the Cena heel turn.
Yeah.
The Cena heel turn would have went perfectly without The Rock, in my opinion.
And you could have done it without... the fuck is the idiot's name?
Travis Scott.
Yeah, that moron.
Yeah, definitely could have done without Travis Scott. Night 2. Of course, Cena starts the show. He's the host. I get it. But the match that most people were waiting for and most people were talking about, Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. What did you think of this match?
I wish it would have went longer.
I agree. But as far as did it deliver what it was built up to be?
Yeah.
I believe so. It was a match designed to get Obafemi over using the star power of Brock Lesnar, and it did. They made Oba look incredibly strong. Brock got his usual offense in. Oba took an F5 but recovered quick and beat Lesnar. Lesnar left his gear and his gloves in the ring. He was crying. Paul Heyman was crying. Lesnar was slapping hands with the fans, saying thank you to them. You never would have seen that from Brock Lesnar.
No.
And it does look like he's done, unless it's part of a storyline, but I mean, it's WWE, it always could be, but if that's the way he goes out, I think it would be good.
Yeah. But if it is part of a storyline and he's like, ha, gotcha, bitch.
No, that like Mark Henry did with John Cena, yeah.
He just needs a salmon soup.
Yeah, I don't see Lesnar coming out in the salmon soup. And then the Intercontinental title ladder match, Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, J.D. McDonough, Javon Evans, Rusev, and Penta. Penta coming out as the champion. One thing Michael Cole said on commentary, and I'm sure somebody fed it to him, Halloween Havoc 97 was not a ladder match.
No.
Not a ladder match. I know Rey Mysterio was in it, but it was not a ladder match. Not. I have to say, Penta coming out as dressed up as Shao Kahn. Oh, speaking of which, I went to the movies yesterday, and this is one of the popcorn buckets you can get at Regal Cinemas. The Shao Kahn mask with the Mortal Kombat 2 popcorn bucket.
This is fucking awesome.
The head, the top of the helmet opens up so you can grab your popcorn.
That's fucking sick.
It was $50, but I tried fitting it over my head. My head's too big, but it's still pretty cool. I love it. But Penta came out as Shao Kahn. Yeah, see, like it doesn't. Yeah, see, it doesn't go down all the way. But,
it kind of fits.
But yeah, this is really. I love.
If I was you, I would just put that on a styrofoam head.
I'm probably going to. But so Penta coming out like that is really cool. I mean, they're doing a tie-in for Mortal Kombat because nothing but ads. You know, they have to sell ads for everything. So.
But it does fit that Penta would do that entrance with that.
Oh, absolutely. Penta did a Mexican Destroyer on the ladder. Javon did an OG cutter off the ladder at one point, which I figured he was going to do. Penta retained. I wasn't expecting Penta to retain. I thought they were going to pull the trigger on Javon Evans, but I mean, Penta's got star power.
Or hell, even JD.
Yeah. But they made Rusev look really strong in this match too. But
and they've been making him look strong lately too, which is really good.
Yeah. I wrote for this one, wow, I forgot about this match. The U.S. title, Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams. Mainly because I don't care about Sami Zayn anymore. But they waited too long on Sami Zayn, and now nobody cares.
No.
What were you going to say?
I'm glad that they pulled the trigger on Trick Williams.
Trick's a star. Trick's a star.
Yes.
He's, yeah.
And now we're going to get heel Sami Zayn.
Yeah, again. I thought it was a good match. Sami Zayn attacked Little Yachty. I like Little Yachty. He's not overbearing. He's not like Travis Scott where he's aloof, you know. And I know Travis Scott's a wrestling fan, but he doesn't act like it.
No.
He just acted like he was, you know, Little Yachty was engaged and knew what was going on and added to Trick. Travis Scott didn't add fuck all and nothing to anything he touched in WWE. Trick won the U.S. title, so that's awesome. Dominic Mysterio versus the Demon Finn Balor. The King of the Luchadors came out on the throne with the masked men lining the ramp. Dominic Mysterio gets heat no matter what he does, so it's awesome. I like Finn coming back as the Demon and with the old CFO's music, you know, with the heartbeat and all that stuff. It just hits better. I mean, chairs and tables. They even a drop kick with the chair around Dominic's neck, and of course Finn Balor won. I mean, he's coming back as the Demon. He's going to win. You know.
I saw the new Dominic Mysterio shirt. I freaking want it because it looks like the old 2004 Eddie Guerrero shirt that looks like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Oh, that's cool. I haven't seen that one, but that's really cool. The WWE Women's title, Jade versus Rhea Ripley. Awesome entrance for Rhea with skulls and chains. Jade has presence, but no one cares.
No.
Michin and B-Fab came out, and then Io Sky came out. Rhea Ripley did an awesome slip under counter to get to the Riptide, which was really, really cool. So new champ Rhea Ripley. I know we're not going through this with a lot of passion, but it wasn't that great. This was not WrestleMania to me. No. This was a No Way Out. That's what this was. This was a No Way Out. This was a Judgment Day or a Vengeance.
Yes.
This was not WrestleMania. It was not. And I cannot wait to see the shit show that a Saudi Arabia WrestleMania is. Because I'm going to guess Undertaker's going to wrestle. Shawn Michaels is going to wrestle. They're going to bring back Goldberg. They're gonna bring everybody to get that Saudi money. I just feel it, and I don't want to see it. I wrote Cena sucks as a host because he came out again to announce the attendance, and then Miz and Kit Wilson came out, and Danhausen made an appearance, which was awesome. He came out with midgets dressed as him, and Michael Cole made it clear they wanted to be called midgets. So if the midgets want to be called midgets, I'm going to call them midgets. And Hornswoggle, he likes the term midgets. Brad Williams, the comedian, that's
yes.
he's not offended by the word midget. I think the only one that is Peter Dinklage, and that guy's an asshole anyways. I wrote, they missed an opportunity for Danhausen. What did Danhausen come out on?
A coffin car.
Yes, but if he really wanted to troll people, he would have came out on one of the WrestleMania 3/WrestleMania 3 carts that they had with the ring ropes and the turnbuckles. That would have been the perfect thing for Danhausen to come out on.
Yes. I'm liking that they're sticking with the coffin car, though.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Danhausen did a 5-knuckle shuffle on Miz. Danhausen, I don't think they've missed the mark with him yet. I can't think of a boring segment they've had with him.
I'm looking forward to this match coming for Backlash with him.
I am too. We'll talk about that. And then the main event of night 2, Roman Reigns versus CM Punk for the world title.
Did you see that they dubbed over CM Punk's entrance music?
No, I didn't. I wrote great entrance for Roman with the singer and the piano with the Samoan Dynasty in the background. The only thing I didn't like is I don't think they showed Umaga. I think he's the only one they didn't show, and that kind of rubs me the wrong way. But whatever. Punk had an entrance with his Ring of Honor music, which was pretty cool. And
that's the one that they dubbed over.
Is it? Well, because probably they only paid for the rights for one night.
Yep, and all the what do you want? Reruns and shit. Yeah, they dubbed over it.
So they only paid for it for one night. Kind of like when they had Triple H come out to Metallica.
Yep.
Not as slow paced as Roman's matches usually are. Too many table spots in this WrestleMania for sure. Elbow drop through the table by CM Punk.
And wouldn't him hitting CM Punk with the steel steps be considered disqualification?
Yes. They don't disqualify for shit anymore. Ever. Ugh. For anything. They do all kinds of shit right in front of the ref and they never do anything. But spear by Roman, new World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns. So let's do this. Oh damn! I didn't turn the volume up.
Oh!
Show me what you got.
You go first.
Okay, this I'm so happy that I found. I went to a thrift shop. It's really not. They call it a thrift shop. It's really not. They sell DVDs, all kinds of stuff. But I bought a couple DVDs, and then as I was leaving, he told me about something that he had. And for $10, this is not the frame that it came in. The frame that it came in was significantly worse. I'm going to read off the card. This is from 1985 at our home arena, the Glens Falls Civic Center.
Which is freaking awesome.
This is really from the World Wrestling Federation. I'm gonna go from the bottom of the card up. Wednesday, December 4th, 1985, Glens Falls, New York, the Glens Falls Civic Center. King Tonga, who is Haku, versus Barry O, who that is Barry Orton, Bob Orton Jr.'s brother.
Nice.
Randy Macho Man Savage versus George Wells.
Ooh.
Adrian Adonis versus Scott McGee. Corporal Kirshner versus Iron Sharp. You cannot get any more 80s than this card.
No, you can't.
Greg the Hammer Valentine and Brutus Beefcake, the Dream Team, the WWF Tag Team Champions, versus this tag team floors me. Mike Rotundo and Tito Santana.
What?
When do you remember those two tagging up? And it's a tag team title match, 1 fall, 1 hour time limit. Now the main event. 1 fall, 1 hour time limit. Now I want you to focus on that. Hillbilly Jim versus Jesse the Body Ventura.
What?
Can you, Mikey Cheese mentioned this to me. Can you imagine if that main event went to the full hour? How much walking and talking and posing there would have been in a 1 hour match with the Jesse Ventura and Hillbilly Jim.
Yeah.
That would have been one of the most boring matches ever. But I wish I had been there to see it. I was 4 years old at the time. This is, it's not, the program. It's the insert, the match card that was in the program. But to know that this was at my home arena, and I bought it from a guy that, you know, lives in this area and his business is in this area.
And dude, that is still in great. That is still in great condition.
It really is. I mean, the frame was crappy, and I mean, you can't even really tell that there was tape on the top of it, and you know, but that made me happy that I have that. These are two of the DVDs that I bought.
Huh. Wait a minute, we got televised wrestling.
Yeah.
Ooh, so there might be some old footage of this.
There might be. Lucha Libre Life Behind the Mask. I've never heard of this. It's from 2008. It's only an hour and 10 minutes long, but it's sealed, and I'm eventually going to watch it, but I don't know if it's a documentary or what, and then the Superstar Collection, Zack Ryder. It's still sealed, and I like these, you know, they're not doing personality profile videos anymore, so I definitely wanted this. And why don't you grab a couple of things that you got, would you?
Show me what you got.
And if you don't get that Rick and Morty reference, I don't know what to tell you.
Dennis Rodman t-shirt, the new one.
The new Hall of Famer, Dennis Rodman. And if you want to watch the Hall of Fame, go right ahead, but I wouldn't recommend it.
No.
It wasn't that good at all.
This was the second one.
And they did Sid dirty, by the way. He should have gotten
Yes.
the full introduction. But
I love these new Dennis Rodman shirts.
that is really cool. That one I would actually buy. That's pretty badass.
Yes.
How much was that one?
Same as the other one, 40.
I might actually grab one of those because that's
Get a 2X because this looks like a 3X.
okay.
Then
The new Ultimate DDP.
bang!
That's really cool. I got one of those too. I do not have the vest on it, but that's really cool.
And I put my extra WCW World Title belt on them.
That's cool. Some of the Ultimate ones are actually really, really good.
Then I managed to get a Lex Luger action figure full with from the Build-A-Figure. I stole the head off it and put it on the Ultimate one.
That's cool.
That looks so much better than it did.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Show me what you got.
I don't know if I showed off my custom Sting.
You might have before. That's cool. I like that.
Then, you already know what I'm going to do with this. Vampiro.
And I bought one of those as well. I've actually got it here. I'll just...
Yeah, now you can... Yeah, this
Legends
is what...
of Lucha Libre. It comes with the WSX, that's really cool belt. And my main thing for buying this was it has the paint he used when he was part of the Dark Carnival with ICP and WCW. That was my whole reason for buying this. And plus, it's a badass figure. But
Yes.
That really was what I wanted out of it.
Then, I have to show this off. And I know you're going to think this is awesome.
Well, hurry up now. Oh, that's cool. That's a really cool Joker PlayStation, or is that, yeah, PlayStation
PS5
controller.
Yep.
I like that.
You're not going to be crazy about the freaking price I paid for it, but still.
I don't care how much you paid for it. It ain't my money.
It's old, but still.
Is that all you got?
Yep.
Okay, I bought another Ultimate Dominic Mysterio. I don't have a dirty Dom. I've got the Dominic that you bought me as like a gag. So
I still got the one that you gave me.
I think this is really cool. So, I mean, he's one of the biggest stars in the company right now, so I decided to get that.
I'm loving Dominic.
And because I talked about Mortal Kombat earlier, I bought the Johnny Cage, the Carl Urban Johnny Cage Funko Pop.
Was he on clearance for $6? Because I saw one on clearance at Walmart for $6.
Not when I bought it. And then I bought this pack. I don't know if this is still available on Jazzwares' Vault website. Christopher Daniels from Ring of Honor with the Ring of Honor TV title. I mainly bought that because I'm going to use it for my TNA display because he was in TNA around that time too. It was $50 I want to say $58 for all three of these.
That's not bad for
Christopher Daniels and then both Briscoes, Jay and Mark Briscoe. So I wanted.
I mean, it's more than that for the triple pack of Sting.
Right, and these figures are really the vault ones are really good. Some of the basic ones, especially the Briscoes, don't look really good. And then because it's coming out, and I can't wait to see it. They played a trailer. I went and saw Super Mario Brothers yesterday, which is really good. It's getting bad reviews, and I don't get it. My favorite Masters of the Universe He-Man villain, Triclops. So I bought that. And I've seen some stuff where, oh, well, now they've got two characters that are black because Idris Elba's Man-at-Arms and Triclops is black too. For one thing, Man-at-Arms is a good guy. Triclops is a bad guy. What does it matter? I don't... You don't need to be faithful to the cartoon with everything. You know, you don't. But I really like that. And then, I can't believe I saw this. This is the first time I've seen one on the shelves. The Black Card LJN Jesse the Body Ventura. And then...
Dude, this looks awesome.
And then Royal Rumble Ultimate Warrior. Complete with the muscle thing that Rick Rude hit him with during the pose down at the 89 Royal Rumble. That LJN looks badass.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, they really did good with these. And the Stone Cold one was there too, but I really didn't want that. I just wanted Jesse. So if King Kong Bundy had been there, I would have snagged.
Wait a minute, where's the Jesse that we got you from Maine?
That's upstairs.
Shit.
Because it's completely different. It's definitely completely different, but...
Because we got to do a side-by-side with those.
Yeah. That's all I've got with me. You want to go right into yours?
Give me the drum roll, please.
So you picked two things this time, but not two wrestling events, but two things. Armageddon 2000. What's the main reason you picked this one?
The 6-man Hell in the Cell match, because it was so good.
It was. I love the intro with the "End Is Here" music in the military footage. You know that it's Armageddon and you're playing. It's you're playing the atomic bomb. I wrote WWF New York. That brings back so many memories. Yes. I went to WWF New York before the grand opening, the official grand opening. Don't worry about it. He's gonna fall down. He's been cursed. It's so cool to go back and see that stuff. And then they show Vince arriving to the building in a limo and the Stooges, Pat Patterson and Jerry Briscoe, welcoming him and asking him if he wants coffee, and he says, "I don't want any damn coffee." You know what I mean? So it was cool. This is something that they weren't doing very much of at this point. 6-person intergender elimination tag. The Hardys and Lita versus the Radicals, Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, and Perry Saturn. I think this feud showed how underutilized Malenko was. They did it where, if Malenko beat Lita, in a wrestling match, Lita had to go on a date with Malenko. And she went out on a date with him and then brought him to a hotel room, and the Hardys attacked Malenko. And, so that was, it furthered the feud. I wrote, Perry Saturn has the best Death Valley driver out of anybody I've ever seen. It got down to Malenko and Lita, and Malenko ended up winning, and after the match, Lita said, "I think I can beat him." I think they had one more Raw match after that, and I think she did beat him. They did a backstage interview where Kurt Angle was warming up for his match.
Kurt Angle?
With Lillian Garcia, and I wrote, only a year into his career, and Angle is one of the best promos in the business, without a doubt. The European Championship, William Regal, the champion, versus Hardcore Holly, and they were in Alabama, and William Regal was talking about, they need to be more civilized and they need better hygiene, and he said, you need a handkerchief, and it was so good. I think Regal and Holly were underrated in this era, especially Hardcore Holly. Raven came in during the match, hit a DDT on Holly, and Regal won, retained the European title. China versus Val Venus. Ivory with Val Venus. This was the right to censor era. I'm gonna just because that's flashing way too much.
Speaking of Val Venus, did you see his? I sent you the comment that he made about Sami Zayn.
Yeah, he said something about he's got more talent or his
his jock strap can draw more than Sami Zayn.
Yeah, whatever.
Motherfucker, I'd rather see Sami Zayn over you.
When's the last time you were relevant? I mean, I can say I can name my favorite Sami Zayn matches, like Shinsuke Nakamura's debut or his matches with Kevin Owens. I cannot mention a Val Venus match that's really memorable that Val Venus had anything to really do with. I could say the cage match that he had with Rikishi, but the only reason for that is Rikishi diving off the top of the cage onto him. It's the only thing I remember about it. I don't remember anything about Val Venus being a part of it.
Oh. You want to know what the most memorable thing is? Your pee-pee getting chopped off.
Yeah, I choppy your pee-pee, and that's only memorable because of Yamaguchi-san.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with you. So, you need to... He's another one like Booker T and a lot of these guys that are trying to stay relevant that are just saying stupid shit. You know, like when we went to the convention, and he was there, you know, his whole thing was hello ladies. Well, he wore a shirt that says hello biological ladies. That's just to stir shit. Whether you agree with it or not, he wanted people to start shit with him because that's his thing now, is he wants to create controversy and it's fucking stupid. So Val, go fuck yourself. Sami Zayn has more talent than you ever had.
Yes.
Val won because Ivory interfered, and then China got powerbombed by Val Venus after the match. All night long, they were playing videos of past Hell in a Cell matches. Awesome in-ring, Under the Cell, with Kevin Kelly and The Undertaker. This is my favorite part of the whole pay-per-view. Taker describing what the cell does to him and how it changes him and he becomes a more violent person. And what he does to people in the cell. If you watch nothing else, I know the main event is amazing.
Yes.
But you got to admit, this whole thing with American Badass Undertaker talking about what he does to people in the cell is one of the best things about this pay-per-view. Absolutely, without a doubt. Last Man Standing, Chris Jericho versus Kane. I think this was a great feud, a very underrated feud.
And it started over a hot cup of coffee.
Right. I think Kane was one of the backbones of the company at this point. This era of him is highly underrated.
Definitely.
He had an amazing performance in the Royal Rumble in the next month, in the January of 2001. Jericho won by pushing a tower of barrels onto Kane, and that was Kane could not stand up. So Jericho
but what did
won.
You see?
Well,
his arm coming out of the barrels.
Yep. Yeah. And Kane was very good to point that out as well, so that was really cool. You picked a good pay-per-view. This was actually really cool. And then...
I have my moments.
Yeah, every once in a while. Four-corner tag title match, the right to censor, the champions versus the Dudleys versus Road Dogg and K-Quick versus Edge and Christian. Edge and Christian called Road Dogg and K-Quick the Rapid Rikazoids, which was funny. Do you remember the spot they did where Bubba Ray and Road Dogg ducked under clotheslines and then did the punches and then danced the same dance as each other and then turned around and punched each other in the face? I thought that was really cool. Yes. Edge and Christian won the tag team titles.
It just sucks that they only had the New Age Outlaws and 3D meet once in WWE.
Yeah, that's true. The Intercontinental title, I really didn't pay attention to this match. Chris Benoit versus the one Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn, the champion. Benoit won the Intercontinental title.
It is very hard taking a look back at Chris Benoit's matches, knowing how much damage was being caused up here with every single fucking move.
Yeah. So the women's title, Ivory, the champion, versus Trish Stratus versus Molly Holly. It was a quick match. Ivory retained. TNA came out to confront Molly Holly. Crash Holly comes out, attacks them, and lures them to the ring. And who came back?
APA.
To a big pop. Big pop. They had been gone for, 3 or 4 months at that point?
Yes.
Because the APA had attacked them backstage and injured them. So that was really cool. Spine buster, clothesline from hell. It was really cool. And then the main event, the 6-man Hell in a Cell. The champion, Kurt Angle, versus Rikishi, versus Undertaker, versus Austin, versus Triple H, versus The Rock. Also, before this match, the Raw before, Rock did a really funny promo talking about all the participants in the match. If just check that out.
I'm gonna get some Steelweiser.
Yeah. Austin came out last, and he had the Disturbed music, the music that he had with Disturbed.
Yes.
I like that theme. He jump-started the match. I wrote, Rikishi looks so out of place here. No offense to him, but I think Kane would have been better in this match. Or just there's a lot of guys I could think.
Yes.
He looks so out of place, but no offense to him. It wasn't a cluster like a lot of the multi-man matches are. It was well-placed, well-paced, and they used the cell well.
Yes, they did.
They didn't grab weapons or anything like that. Well,
not until later on in the match.
Vince and the Stooges came out in the back of a flatbed truck and ripped the door off the hinges with chains, and then they were going to rip the whole side of the cell down, but Mick Foley came out and stopped them. So that meant the door is open, so now everybody comes out of the cage and they fight where there's cars and stuff,
And I had to say, that I loved the way that the stage looked.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that every stage was unique, for each pay-per-view at this point. Triple H, Austin, and Angle and Taker all end up on top of the cell. And Rikishi climbs up as well. I don't know how the fuck he managed that. That's a strong motherfucker.
Yeah.
Taker chokeslammed, if you want to call it that. He just kind of poof Rikishi off the side of the cell into the flatbed truck, which had shavings, wood shavings and stuff to
and everybody's just stopping. I like the look on Stone Cold's face because he's like,
yeah. Kurt Angle capitalized on a finishing move and retained the title, but Stone Cold Steve Austin stunned Kurt Angle, as retaliation to end the show. So everybody went home at least a little bit happy, And then what else did you pick? It wasn't wrestling related.
Wasn't it Rat Race?
Mm-hmm. If you have never seen Rat Race from 2001,
wait. We got to do this too, because I know it's one of your favorites, and we haven't done this in a couple episodes.
Well, it wasn't one of mine, but it wasn't my pick, but
still one of your favorites.
So we'll say it's Dave's faves for episode 68. Rat Race. It's from 2001. It's a comedy. Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean, is in it. John Cleese from Monty Python. Whoopi Goldberg, Cuba Gooding Jr., Seth Green, Wayne Knight. He's what was his name in Jurassic Park? Nedry. Yes, Nedry in Jurassic Park. He was in Seinfeld. He was Newman in Seinfeld. John Lovitz, Breckin Meyer, Kathy Najimy, Amy Smart, Dave Thomas, Vince Villiaf, Paul Rodriguez. Google him, kids. One of the funniest comedians ever, Paul Rodriguez. What's the premise of this movie without giving really spoilers?
Basically, racing to... I forget where they're racing to.
Silver City.
For... wasn't it $1 million or more?
$2 million.
$2 million.
That was in a locker at a train station, and all of these rich people are betting on who's going to get there. No rules, they just have to get there.
Yep.
And at the where they're telling them all this, Rowan Atkinson pulls up a thing of pigs in the blanket, and he goes, "Oh look, little cockadoggies," and when he's running down the stairs, he goes, "It's a race, I'm winning." He stole every scene that he was in this movie, Rowan Atkinson. Absolutely. And at one point, I'm not going to give too much away, but the little girl, one of the John Lovitz's daughters in the movies, They're driving in a van, and she says, I have to go to the bathroom, and because it's a race, he doesn't want to stop. And what does she say? Do you remember what
I'm prairie dogging it.
prairie dogging it. And I had never heard that phrase before. And then he's like, John was like, what does that mean? She's like, and the son's like, like when a prairie dog sticks his head in and out of the hole in the ground. I don't want to picture that.
And it took him a minute to register.
Right. We're not going to give away, the ending or anything, but it's a hilarious movie. It's great. So yes, it was a good pick, and I definitely think people should check it out. It's $4 to rent it on Amazon Prime right now.
Which is not bad.
No, and there is like a channel that you can get on like Roku and stuff that's playing it for free. But you do have to subscribe to it, and I was like, I'm just going to pay the $4 to rent it, and whatever. But yeah, really good pick. That was actually really cool. I had emailed or messaged the people at the XWA. I wanted the results of the show that we went to, but they didn't get back to me. We did go to XWA because we wanted to see Mikey Cheese in the main event for the XWA title with the Music Man and the champion Rando. Doink the Clown wrestled Punk, who's an asshole, by the way. I hate to say this, but I can't remember. The super fan John Austin wrestled
Ironside.
Ironside, yes.
And we tell you right now,
Ironside wrestled.
No, it was somebody else. God, I can't remember. It was a newer guy.
Yeah. God, no, I can't think of his name, but
he was a fantastic heel.
Yeah, really good heel. See, the thing is it's hard to hear the names sometimes over the announcements on these shows. And Vile wrestled. She was Hard Body Harlow, but I feel bad because I can't. It was a good show. Just the thing is, it was a really good show, and I thought Mikey Cheese was going to win the title. But the Music Man used a foreign object to win.
Foreign object!
So the Music Man is the XWA champion. Really cool. Music Man's such a good heel, and it was a very good show. They're not having another one until September. So.
And you loved how I called the ending to that match, though.
Yeah, I really thought that that Rando was gonna turn heel and Mikey Cheese was gonna win. Disappointed that he didn't. But the Music Man as champion is cool with me because he's a really good heel. Actually, we got front row, which is cool, and I got some pictures. I didn't use my phone. I used a disposable Fujifilm camera for it because I wanted to see how the pictures would come out. When I get them developed, I will scan them into my computer and I will post them on our Facebook.
I'm hoping Mikey's okay.
Yeah,
because I saw that video. His freaking head just bounced.
Yeah, he messed himself up a little bit in the match, or he got messed. He got hurt in the match. It was a very good show. If you can go see XWA in Pittsfield, most of their shows are in Pittsfield. I would highly suggest it. We've enjoyed every show we've ever gone to there, and it's general admission. So if you buy a ticket, even if you pre-order it, the earlier that you get there and the closer you are in line,
the better.
Because if we hadn't have gotten there as early as we did, there was no way we were going to get front row. The doors opened at 4. Well, they were supposed to open at 4:30, and they didn't open until like 4:45. But they started at like 3 after 5, and bell time was supposed to be 5. So I'm not complaining there.
No, and we made it home at a decent time too.
Right. So XWA Wrestling, you can look them up on Facebook. You'll see like a blue logo with a skull and crossbones. That's XWA. If you're in the Northeast and you can make it to Massachusetts in September, check out their shows. You got anything else? You got any video game things or anything?
Mostly been playing Ghost of Yote.
Mm-hmm.
And it's becoming really freaking good.
Any new DLCs to the WWE game that you've been...
Besides Team Demolition being added, I don't know what the next pack is supposed to be, but, and I already told you this, and I think I sent you a video, they didn't use their actual theme song for this.
Yeah, I don't know if they own the rights anymore, or if they only can use it for TV purposes and not for, something like that.
Right.
Yeah, that kind of sucks, you know, and you can't put your own music in the games anymore, which is stupid too.
I wish that they would bring that feature back.
But the fact that they're in the game makes me happy. You know,
Yes. And not just these two, but all three.
Right. Do you have a pick for... I don't know if you told me. Do you have a pick for the next episode?
I sent you a picture of it. Drive Angry.
Drive Angry. That's the Nicolas Cage movie. Right?
Yes, and that movie was really friggin' good.
Yep. As of right now...
And I'll skim Netflix for a wrestling show.
Well, I was going to say, we're doing WCW, right?
Yes.
Why don't you pick go through the YouTube vault for WCW, and we'll do a WCW one.
No, actually, that's going to be after our 69 episode.
Okay.
This is 68.
Oh, so... I know, but we're doing WCW for it, right?
Nope. The next one is going to be all WCW.
All right, well, whatever. So, okay, fine, then. You're confusing the fuck out of me because we talked about doing the next episode as WCW. You're goddamn you. So, all right, before we wrap up, God, my brain's gonna explode. There's a few events coming up for wrestling. Backlash is actually this weekend on May 9th. Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. Trick Williams for the U.S. title versus Sami Zayn. Little Yachty's going to be with Trick Williams. Io Sky versus Asuka. I think that's going to be an amazing match. Danhausen and a mystery partner versus The Miz and Kit Wilson. I think it's going to be Joe Hendry.
I hope it is.
But who knows? It might be somebody...
If it's frickin' Jelly Roll, come on.
I don't think they'll go that way. If it's CM Punk, because Danhausen always calls him Foxy Phil, that would be amazing. And the main event is Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu for the World Heavyweight title. I really like the way they've been building this. Jacob Fatu saying, I need it for my family. I'm going to take everything that you have. You know.
The only thing I'm not liking is, why the fuck is it Roman Reigns selling the tongue death grip?
Well, it's supposed to be a devastating hold, but...
Yeah, but him afterward, getting it on SmackDown a couple of weeks ago and talking on the mic after.
Oh yeah,
it's like, come on.
Yeah. And with JC Mateo and Tongaloa being released, I think that it's going to end up being Solo and Tala Tonga going with Jacob Fatu against Roman Reigns and the Usos, because I think the Usos are going to screw Jacob Fatu out of the title, and it's going to lead into that. So that's Backlash. There might be more announced, but with the way they've been going, it's only been a few matches.
I got one thing to say. Solo, I love you!
Yeah, he loves Baby Umaga.
Yes.
Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor. I'm going to watch this because we haven't talked Ring of Honor in a while, and I really want to watch this. Athena, her championship reign of Ring of Honor is... She surpassed Bruno Sammartino's second world title reign as far as days as champion, so that's pretty cool. So she's going to be against, in a survival of the fittest match for the ROH Women's World Championship, Maya World, Trish Adora, Yuka Sakazaki, Billy Starks, and Persephone. I think that's going to be a really good match. And then, of course, this makes me happy. For the Women's Pure title, Deonna Purrazzo against Diamante. Nigel McGuinness versus Josh Woods in a pure wrestling match. I think that'll be really good. The main event, kind of Blake Christian versus Bandito for the Ring of Honor World title. Not really. I don't really care about Blake Christian. And then these are the only matches announced for Double or Nothing, and this is less than a month away. Okada versus Takeshita for the Intercontinental title or International title. I think that'll be really good. FTR versus Cope and Cage in a New York Street Fight I Quit match for the tag titles.
Ooh.
If Cope and Cage lose, they must retire as a tag team. So I don't know what they're going to do. I'm sure there are going to be more matches announced. I mean, Darby Allin's the world champion now, so I'm sure he'll defend the title.
I'm loving that he's the champion.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, he beat MJF in 30 seconds with a few coffin drops after giving him a low blow. It was really cool. Darby, it's good that they finally pulled the trigger on Darby Allin. But AEW has a hot women's division right now. They've got a guy that the crowd really wants as the world champion. I think if they sign a lot of these people, it gets them more high-value talent. And I think these releases are going to do nothing but help AEW and TNA. So
definitely.
We'll have more to talk about. TNA's Slammiversary is not until June, and I do not think they are doing a special event this month. So we'll definitely talk Slammiversary, do a preview for it. I don't have anything else. Cheap Pop Show for our social media. cheappops.redbubble.com for
merchandising.
cheappopshow.com, which is pretty much just a gateway to our social media, but also I will post pictures from XWA, and I will post I've got other stuff to post as well. So thank you very much for checking out the show, and like, subscribe, comment, let us know what you think, and
Pop Guys out.